It's all Brady Bunch style too, the way they have you set it up.
Mine says we're live on the tube.
Yeah, we should be live.
Sweet.
Give it 1 second here. All right, what is up, YouTube? If you are here, do me a solid, smash that thumbs up button gently because it helps the YouTube algorithm, and I am all about gaming that. And bear with me a second. We are going to share this to the Facebook as well. Let's share this over into FBA Today here.
Hey, Chris,
So-
what YouTube channel is this on?
This is on my YouTube channel, which is just Christopher Grant.
Christopher Grant. Okay, cool. I'll get the link when you post it anyway. So cool. Well, thanks for having us on, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate you guys taking a minute to do this. I know that you guys are especially busy this time of year, but I know that we want to talk a little bit about OA Cheddar Black, of course, and then I want to talk about kind of winning big in Q4,
Right.
which, and we're going to go a little bit in a different direction today. So we can talk about leads. We can talk about here's what to flip and here's what you need to keep an eye out on. But one thing that a lot of people kind of don't go over is what kind of mindset do we need to be in to win big in Q4, and how do we keep our head straight during the busiest time of the year when we need to source, we need to prep and pack fast, especially this year. We've got 6 fewer days than last year.
Right.
You know, and kind of how do we keep everything straight?
Right.
Yeah, man. Well, thanks for having us on, Grant. I'll let you answer those. I don't know if we want to do soft intros. My name is Gabe Strom. I'm in Chicago. Grant done this on my bottom of my screen. He runs our lead production for OA Cheddar. So anytime he's the master of leads, I like to say. Grant wears a lot of hats, though, actually. He runs 3 companies. I run a couple companies. And so we're super busy this year. Grant, we're getting more done. I think this is a valuable conversation because everyone gets overwhelmed this year. We've had just a monster year. How are you getting more done this year with you have more businesses this year than you did last year? So how do you think you're being so productive?
I mean, it always comes down to teams and systems.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, yeah. With the OA Cheddar team using some task management tools, really, really solid communication, regular communication, getting on the phone regularly with our team leads and just kind of brain dumping on them, figuring out what it is that they're doing, what are they doing well, how can we do more of that, right? How can we adjust and refine our skills and refine what we're doing on a day-to-day? I think that's really been the biggest thing. I mean, I never thought that we started OA Cheddar like a year and a half ago, and I don't think I ever imagined we would have 15 VAs. And it doesn't even really feel like we have 15 VAs. We have them, we pay them every week. Love doing that, by the way. But Ashley actually handles that. But it doesn't really feel like we have 15 VAs or that I'm managing 15 VAs because we've created these chains of command, right? And I think that's really and Ralph Cochran, I think out of like the Black chat and people that are inside the group, I see him really doing this very well. I don't think he considers himself an expert at retail arbitrage or an expert at running inventory lab or an expert at running a repricer, because he's just figured out what he needed to know how to do, put somebody in place and said, hey, here's the guys that know more than me, study what they do, and let's build a successful company together. And he's really and I think that's a big thing in business, is understanding the people around you. And you and I do this too, Gabe, right? With each other. We do this with our tech support. We do this with our customer support. We figure out where everybody's strengths are, and then we really just nudge them and push them into their strengths. And I think that ultimately has been the reason why we're accomplishing more with the same amount of time than we ever have in the past.
Yeah, I'd agree, man. I mean, my head immediately went to systems and team also. So our team is stronger than ever. And so you mentioned kind of an internal resource. I'll share this with your audience, Chris. I share this. This is like the #1 book recommendation I give to everybody in our universe, coaching clients, etc. This is Strength Finders 2.0. Tom Rath. You can find this on Amazon. And there is a little survey inside here. It's like a little assessment you can take. It's like I think it's like $20 or something, but it'll tell you your top 5 strengths. And so what Grant's talking about is, we were having this conversation the other day, actually, Grant, with some new team members who've been growing and hiring so much recently that, I'm starting to think less and less of us as a lead provider and more as a leadership factory. And, it's not our whole role, Chris, and we'll just peel back the curtain, man. We'll go into some really high level, kind of the structures that run these systems. But for me and Grant, it's all about getting the right people on the bus and 2 in the right seats. And so I think that's key. And when I say the right people, specifically, we're talking about that are aligned with our values. Mm-hmm. And so this is something that not a lot of companies do. And I actually learned this strategy from a friend of mine that runs an Inc. 5000 company. And so one of the fastest 5,000 companies in the US, he got the award. This was a couple of years ago in the real estate space. And I'm like, dude, what do you do that's different? How did you grow so fast? And he's if you met this guy, his name's Ron, he's super calm. He's like, we got clear on our values and we only hired around our values. And it became very clear, who was aligned with our values and who wasn't. So for us, me and Grant, our faith, our family, our freedom, all of these are like kind of 3 core values. The people over profit has been a value of our company. So we always take the long-term approach, the long ball. But how do you get the right people in the right seats? It starts by knowing what you're good at, like Grant said. So take this assessment. I'll tell you your top 5. It's super valuable, especially for partnerships. Like for me and Grant to know these, for Grant and Ashley to know these. Me and Sarah's got her book right next to mine. It's super valuable for couples too. And also for team members, because what you'll find is that people are happiest doing jobs that they're good at. Mm-hmm. Okay. And so a lot of times if you have team members, if you've ever hired VAs, for example, like I know a lot of you are in the process of scaling. How many of you guys have hired a VA and it just didn't work out like you expected? And you're like, why? I mean, I've invested my time, my energy. Time is your most valuable asset. Why doesn't it work? Well, typically it has to do with either your values are disaligned. Maybe like we're a family company. So Grant and I, our work schedules will revolve around that. Grant's with his kids in the daytime. I'm with Faith periodically. We've designed the whole business around that. And some people aren't. Like my wife's an attorney. She works in corporate America, and they are absolutely not family. They're billable hours focused. That's a totally different thing. Like work above everything else. So, anyways, I don't know if that's kind of on a really strategic level, like how we build and grow teams. Obviously, you got to have the details down and the processes. Grant, you mentioned. We don't manage 15 VAs. You've got one. We've got a general manager overseas that manages a team, and then you've got your brother serves as a GM role here in the States. So you're managing. Who do you directly manage on a weekly basis?
I mean, really, it's basically my brother and Kishi, and then we kind of work together between Cindy for support, and you and I kind of help with Clark and work as a team with Clark. Actually, you probably work more with Clark than I do. It's really about 4 people, right? 3-4 people that are, work that I'm working with. Obviously, I have Danny, who I'm partnered with on our supplement line. But beyond that, and there's a whole team behind that company too, right? There's a team of about 5 people, 5 very talented people. But again, I think that's really, I would say in 2019, the biggest, and it's kind of cool too, because this has been happening not just in Cheddar, but in the Thin Fit line, soon to be something different brand, and what's going on with Firelight is it's literally like I keep finding things that are not working as efficiently or as effectively as they can, and I'm like, why is this the case? What's going on here? How do I fix this? And dude, it's hilarious. It's always me. Every time I'm like, I'm in the freaking way. I'm not giving my leads enough responsibility, enough pride in what they're doing, or I'm trying to control the process too much. And there's some books I've read, and it might be, I think one of them is, I can't think of the name, but anyway, there's I'm thinking of some other times when like your team comes up with a good idea, or they have an initiative and they're like, hey, let's check this out. I came up with something great. I think this could really work. And our natural inclination as entrepreneurs and as team leads is to want to take that mantle and run with it. Great idea. Let me make it better. Right. But that's the worst thing you can actually do to your team. When your team comes to you and they have something that they think is going to be effective and beneficial for your company, you need to just support them in that and push them into that idea so that they can take ownership and pride in it. And when you do that, you actually end up creating better and more and bigger results. with having to do less work because you're not trying to micromanage the details. So it's been pretty great.
Yeah, that's smart. I found the exact same thing. I'm always the one in the way. I'm always the bottleneck.
Yeah.
Yep.
We don't think it as entrepreneurs. We always think it's something else, but yeah, it's usually the case. But I will be transparent. I got to jump off, guys, in about like 15 minutes. So I'm happy if you guys have questions while we're on live. We could talk about lead generation. We could talk about online arbitrage. I'd love to continue talking about kind of the mindset that it takes. We do have a kind of a special opportunity today, Chris. So our Cheddar Black lead list package, our mega package for the year, is closing tonight at midnight. So
Yes.
I don't know if we want to spend 2 minutes to talk about this, give you guys a chance to jump on. That's what's happening today.
Yeah, absolutely. So you guys want to tell us a little bit about what comes with OA Cheddar Black? And like, I'll be honest, I'm in there. I get to see what's going on not behind the scenes. I don't get to see what you guys are doing, but I get to see what's in the Black chat and in the group. And it's awesome. The Black chat is really worth the price of admission by itself. There's great networking going on in there. There's great information going on in there. People are actively trying to help each other out. But of course, what people want to talk about is leads. So let's talk a little bit about leads, and then and what all that entails. And then we'll talk about a little bit of a bonus that I put together for people who decide to hop in.
Let's do it, man. Well, I'll give you guys a 30-second cliff notes, if that's cool. We'll make this super easy. You guys are here. You guys want to get results. We know you're in Q4. Y'all are busy too. So there's 3 parts to Cheddar Black this year. And we have this cheesy theme with our company. So OA Cheddar is like our flagship OA list. We have OA Feta, which is Cheddar's younger little brother, a little different criteria. We just opened Cheddar Flips this year. And then all of our lists have been sold out or nearly sold out. So Cheddar Black is our Q4 exclusive group. And there's 5 lead lists that come with it. And what you just mentioned. So really it's 3 components. It's the leads. So like every lead that Cheddar's producing this year in excess of our normal list is inside Cheddar Black. We can go through that. 2 is the training. So we're doing some exclusive Q4 training. Grant's been walking the community kind of step by step through Q4, through the phases that it takes. Grant, you guys are on pace to do about 1.5 this year, and you've just been humming. And you guys don't get too stressed out about Q4. It's been one of the big breakthroughs for a lot of the members, is not to freak out and like feel like there's this, Chris, I don't know if you know this, there's like this, every year it happens in FBA. There's this energy that like, frick, I'm missing out. Like I should have had more capital. I should have had more inventory. I should have, there's this feeling in our industry. And so we like to put that at rest, because one of the core principles that we've been teaching Cheddar Black is just to prosper where you're planted. So be okay with wherever you are on the journey, whether you're $1 million seller, 7-figure, 8-figure, or you're just getting started, be okay with where you're at. And just do the best you can with what you got. That's one of the big principles. So the training is part 2. And then part 3, Chris, you mentioned this, is the my favorite part, I think our members' favorite part, and that's the community. And we believe strongly that who you surround yourself with dictates the success you have. Like Grant and I live and die by the principle of you are the combination of your top 5 closest friends. Okay, this is why we're just, so if you're hanging out with people that are pulling you down, you got to get around different thinkers. So we built, we added some components. Last year, we did something called Cheddar Black. The first time we offered this, it's a group Facebook chat, essentially, Chris. You and Nate are a part of this. You guys get to see this. This thing is so active. I joke with Grant. We've got over 100 people that are a part of Cheddar Black so far this year, and we've got 44 spots left before we close it tonight at midnight, whichever comes first. So it's a great group of sellers, and it really separates the cream from the crop, in my opinion. And the conversation is just all day. My phone goes off like nonstop. It's like first thing in the morning. Granted, it's really taken on a culture. So that's what Black Chat is. It's a private Facebook chat. And I found that, everyone, a lot of times people are kind of, I don't know if you guys feel this. Some people are afraid to post their real questions in groups, because I don't know if you guys noticed, but there's some really mean people in the FBA space that will like bite people's heads off for the littlest things. I don't know why our industry is like this, But anyways, Black Chat's it's like a safe zone. You can say whatever you want, and it's in a chat, so I think people feel a little more comfortable.
I see you, Sarah.
Sarah's hiding. Why are you hiding on the floor?
You got caught.
You got caught. Right in the middle of the thing. Sarah's
it's good to see you, Sarah.
So that's the three components, Chris: the leads, the training, and the community. They get all this stuff. It's less than $1,000. It's like $2,700 worth of stuff, and then our best lead packages. Grant, you want to talk real quick, man? And I mean, the lead packages, in my opinion, is just kind of the gravy, but this is what people want. And we have a lot of seven-figure sellers that rebuy every year just for the list. So what are the 5 lists people get with the package?
Yeah. So the first one is Christmas chunks, which is essentially all the overspill, all the overage from our cheddar lead generation, because we do our lead volume goes quite high compared to normal during Q4 because there's just so much opportunity. So we're delivering basically a cheddar list to this entire group. So 3 months worth, you can imagine there's $450 worth of value just in Christmas chunks, delivered Monday through Friday. We have the retail arbitrage gold list. This is essentially what we're trying to do is, clearance is great, but everybody can go the clearance aisle and scan clearance. What I want people to be able to do, and this is just what works in Q4, it's kind of unique to Q4 especially, is to be able to go into and buy full price retail, right? And our favorite stores to do this at are going to be Walmart's toy department and Target's toy department. So we're actually doing something that kind of goes in conjunction with that, where Taylor goes out on Saturdays and his whole entire goal is just to source leads, right? He's not out there trying to buy stuff for my business. He's just out there scanning hundreds and hundreds of scans to try to surface out the stuff that's going to work. So we got the RA Gold list. Essentially, it's just focused on retail arbitrage. Some of those things are available online as well. We have the Amazon out. And just so you guys know, if you can't make $1,000 on just one of these lists, we're charging $997 to be in this thing. If you can't make $1,000 on just one of these lists, then we're doing something wrong here. But I can promise you that you can make $1,000 minimum on each one of these lists or strategies. The Amazon out of stock list is one of my faves. We are fine. Man, there's some good stuff in there, like absolute fire leads. What that is essentially these are really hot toy leads, and we're trying to find some stuff in the other categories as well if we can. But it really works well in toys, where Amazon year after year after year goes in and out of stock during Q4. Sometimes they will go out of stock for like 6 weeks at a time, and they've done that consistently. And so you can kind of predict and buy those types of items directly from Amazon at full price. Don't use a Prime account, right? But you can pay full price, buy them from Amazon, and then send them in. And when Amazon goes out of stock, you could be selling them for 2, 3, 4, 5 times what you paid. We have the Black Friday list. That's pretty obvious, right? A lot of online deals, a lot of online shopping happen with Black Friday list, a lot of in-store stuff on Thursday night. We have the Cyber Monday list. And along with that, we have the video game strategy that we're teaching everybody. And that's just an easy, quick way to make, $1, $2, $3 grand, right? Buying video games on Black Thursday, getting out there. I mean, yeah, it's right after Thanksgiving, but you can get into the stores, poach them, right? List them, get them, and then fulfill those orders, merchant fulfill, and just make a quick buck in about a week, 2 weeks time period.
Yeah, that was one of my favorites.
What's that? Amazon out of stocks?
Well, Amazon out of stock, I think, is incredible. That is one of my absolute favorites. I probably set like 10, 15 Keepa alerts a day during Q4.
Yeah.
But the video game, like I've done video games in the past, but they've never been my bread and butter. But I watched your guys' training on that, and it's killer. I absolutely love that.
There's something for everybody. That's why we get the question all the time, Chris, is this like beginner friendly? Is it advanced? There really is something for everybody. That's why we give away 5 lists. We talked about like selling these all individually, and we're like, dude, let's just give away the farm. Let's go all in on the community this year, give you everything you would need, the leads, the community, the training, and just over deliver. We're treating this almost like it's a $5,000 program. That's kind of like the type, like the way that our team's approaching it. You can get it for less than $1,000. We got a 2-pay option, so it's like a no-brainer. And if you're balling on a budget, we've got a little guy option. You can just buy just the Black Friday and the Cyber Monday for $299 also. But till tonight, so this is like the last live. We opened this up 2 weeks ago. We're closing it down tonight. And the reason why this isn't like we're closing the offer down. We close it down. The leads are time sensitive. So, Q4 is happening. Grant, you've been sourcing for Q4 since October 1st. Even before that, even in September, you guys were buying early. So the time to be buying is now. And 2, because we want to focus on the people inside of Cheddar Black. And so Grant, you were telling me, I mean, you have if you guys haven't met, and there's some comment here, there's a conspiracy, Chris Grant Dunn. Yes, there is. There's a small world. Grant, you've just been chomping at the bit, though. You've been telling me in some of we have a kind of a leadership meeting every morning. You're like, dude, I can't wait just to start pouring on some of these trainings and to really teach and give away your business model. And we've got, Grant and I have this crazy belief, Chris, that there's like more than enough to go around. We believe in abundance, and we believe that when we share and we give, like we can't outgive you guys. That's why we'll share this stuff publicly on YouTube, because it always comes back to you. It's like one of the spiritual laws of the universe is you reap what you sow. So we're just going to give the farm this year, Grant, and I know you've got a huge heart, and you're going to be putting together. Now, this isn't an official, we're going to do some training, but Grant, you're basically going to lay out what you guys do to build systems inside of your business. We're going to put this together. This is like a new training course that we're building and kind of baiting with Cheddar Black this year. But you guys in Cheddar Black, there's always extra things that you get. And Chris Grant, you and Nate McAllister, in the spirit of generosity, this whole abundance thing is catching fire. You guys said, hey, we want to stack on another bonus too. So you guys have a special bonus that's a part if someone buys through your link, which you've posted in the chat. So this is a Keepa training, right? You guys walk us through what's the bonus you guys put together.
Yeah. So I try to be transparent, and people who show up on Thursday nights would know that I try to show everything. But there are a couple of things that I keep back for the people who are like in my Tactical Arbitrage Academy group and things like that. And one of those things is the power of Keepa that I think 99% of sellers don't really understand. There's a lot of things that you can do in there. And one of them is like surgically finding products that fit your criteria. Okay. And then being able to pull out those ASINs and I mean, I'm talking like maybe you just want to find products that are a certain size. Okay. Maybe you only want to sell products that are 2 inches by 3 inches by 6 inches. You can grab all of that information from Keepa. And like people typically don't know how to do that. You want to be able to find products where Amazon's out of stock 70% over the last 90 days, but the products sell between $12 and $15. You can get all of that information. And but Keepa makes it difficult. One, you kind of need to know what you're looking for, and two, the output is difficult to turn into usable data. So I show how to do that. And then because the output is all weird and janky, I created a Google Chrome extension that actually turns it into something you can use with your favorite sourcing software. Mine happens to be Tactical Arbitrage, of course. But it turns it into files that you can throw right into your sourcing software and then let the sourcing software do the hard work. So we're probably going to spend an hour, maybe two, depending on how many questions there are, going over how to use that, like how I use it in my own business, because we do a ton of reverse searching. And then, of course, I'm going to give access to the extension for everybody, which I haven't made public ever. There's got like 30 people that use it. I've just given it away to some Tactical Arbitrage Academy folks. And that's kind of what we're going to stack on top of what you guys are teaching.
Very cool, man. Perfect complimentary training. So I'd be curious to see what you guys do with Keepa. Grant, I know you guys live and die in Keepa. This is like you're in there. We have layers of Keepa. So this is actually a Chrome extension you guys built, like that you've got a beta version of?
Yeah, it's all ready to go. It's private, hidden from anybody. Okay. Nobody can find it on Google or anything. It's called ASIN Dumper. It's just a little dump truck, and it dumps ASINs that you find with Keepa using. You got to have API keys, so you got to be willing to invest a little bit more than the $17 a month for a regular Keepa subscription, and then we dump that into CSV files. And I mean, I've got hundreds of thousands of ASINs that I can just run through sourcing software.
Okay. Interesting. Cool. You'll have to, on a side note, Chris, I was talking to Nate at Econ Chicago. You guys will have to teach us your Chrome extension secrets someday. It seems like you guys have got all kinds of new, I don't know how you and Nate find all the cool toys. I know Nate's like super meticulous with this, but you guys seem to like find all the cool new stuff. So this is a special training. When are you guys going to do this call?
Figured I would do it next week, probably Wednesday. It'll either be Wednesday or Friday of next week. The people who decide to join using our link, of course, we will make an affiliate commission. I'll be straight up honest about that. But we have the emails. We're gonna shoot an email out to everybody, and then I'll schedule it for whatever they say is best. So, and then
Cool.
of course it'll be recorded for anybody who can't show up, and there will be links and all of that good stuff so that they can check it out.
Very cool, man. Well, thanks for the generous bonus, throwing that in the pot. This thing is like, I mean, this is as good. I don't know what else we can do to make this thing better. So let me give some shout outs real quick, guys. I see a couple of you guys on live. I Eat Sleep Amazon. What's up?
Tiffany.
It's Tiffany. So you might know some of these. It's Pat the reseller. You know Pat?
Not personally, but
Internet
he's always
friendly.
showing up, and I appreciate him.
Yeah, what's up, Pat? I see Frank Schwartz in the house. I see Cheddar. That's me. Frank Schwartz. Who else we got on here? Jacob Bates. What's up, man? James McCool. Appreciate you guys being on live. So Frank Schwartz. So in the sake of time, Chris, you shared your links. So you guys go sign up for Cheddar Black. You'll get all 5 lists. You'll get Black Chat. You'll get the Cheddar Black group. So we've organized all the leads into a private Facebook group because the world needs one more Amazon Facebook group. That's what
Absolutely.
And no, we did that because we want to keep it easy. Last year we didn't have the Facebook group last year. We just had a Black Chat, and that thing moves so fast that people were like missing leads and conversations. So this year what we're doing is, and Grant's been doing a great job at this, is we're going through the conversation in Black Chat and then pulling out the bolos and the strategies, and that stuff gets posted to the Cheddar Black group. And we have this fancy hashtag system this year. So you can go into Cheddar Black group, and we could even show it potentially. And you could just do a search for like hashtag RA leads, hashtag OA leads. We have all the lead lists listed right inside of the group, so it's easy to access everything. So you just got to sign in the morning, go to the Cheddar Black group, dig into the leads. I would recommend the Christmas chunk personally. If I was to sit down and feast upon the Cheddar Black offer, I would start with the Christmas chunk. There's really juicy. And Grant, you mentioned this, but these are exclusive. Like the leads inside the Christmas chunk are not shared anywhere else system-wide in OA Cheddar. And we pride ourselves. We have a quality control manager we've hired to make sure that no leads get duplicated in the system. So if you're on like Cheddar 1, you won't see leads that Cheddar 2 people have in Cheddar 3 and vice versa. All y'all that get in this Christmas chunk, none of these leads will be shared anywhere else, even on our other list. So even for those folks, we have a lot of our subscribers, Chris, that are on a couple of our other lists, and then this is like their kind of the gravy they put onto their sourcing for the year. And the biggest benefit, we didn't talk about this, I mean, getting leads is great, getting community is great. What we're really selling here is time. And what we've done, our team is we've got a full-time team of 5 that's just Q4 exclusive, in addition to our normal staff. We've got about 20 company-wide. We've got about 5 stateside and a bunch overseas, and we're probably looking at 100 to 200-ish hours, maybe 150 to 180 hours, roughly, I'm guesstimating, just in the sourcing and the research side. So the benefit is a lot of people, we're big believers in, as a business owner, you only got so much time. So in order to be effective and to maximize your time, we recommend only focusing on income producing activities. So a lot of people they think sourcing is like research and buying. Grant and I like to separate those two activities and say, you can outsource the research. Let us do the research for you. Let us instead of you go to the leads, let us bring you the leads, and not just a couple leads, but let us pour on like a whole buffet for you. So you have more leads than you have budget. And that's really our goal with Cheddar Black this year, more quality leads. And that way you can cherry pick, you can pick and choose what you want to spend your budget on. And that's one of the strategies that we teach. And how we teach, don't get stressed out. You don't have to go borrow money and freak out. Just let the money that you already have go farther by doing quality. So, Grant, anything you want to comment on the quality of the stuff this year? I mean, I personally believe this is the best lead package in the industry. Obviously, we're biased because it's our lead package. But it's all you do is focus on quality. And last year, we were quality and quantity. Like we gave people probably more leads. This year, we made a conscious decision 6 months ago when we were early prepping this, is just to give quality stuff. So what have you seen happening with the lead package this year?
Yeah, I mean, go ahead, buddy. Go ahead, Chris.
No, so just because I'm on the outside, I do think that you guys are offering like super high quality. And one of the things that I like that I don't see a lot of other places is your watch list. There are products, and people are, they're just showing products that are profitable right now. However, you guys are also sharing things that are probably going to be profitable in the future, so you can keep an eye on it. And that's important to, when I was in sales, I always kept a tickler file, and, a couple of weeks out, we'd start calling the people who, we talked to last year or 6 months ago. And, you can do the same thing with leads. Keeping that tickler file is important. That way you're never out of leads. So yeah, sorry, Grant, go ahead, man.
No, I mean, I think you said it. I mean, the thing is right now it's really kind of under construction. I think we have a ton of value, but I haven't even been able to invest a portion of the time that I want to, and I plan to invest into the leads themselves because I've been working on this promotion. That's why Gabe and I were trying to determine, when are we going to close this down? I'm like, as soon as possible, because I'm over this, I'm over the whole selling thing. And that's why I'm super excited to start taking care of our customers, really pressing into, massaging the lists. I want to go through the data, multiple times, probably every couple of weeks. I'll be going through the data, and we'll be, re-updating all of the metrics, making sure that we are kind of on the up and up of like where the lead is at. And like you mentioned, the watch list, I think it's great because that's really where we thrive during Q4. I think the first real Q4 where I kind of blossomed and kind of learned, some of the things that we teach and we deliver now was in like 2016. And that was really just going into the stores and looking for stuff that had demand, but didn't have a ton of profit yet. Right. But knowing that as we get closer to peak season, those profits are going to increase. And, some stuff you're going to make, you might start off and buy it and it only makes a 10% ROI, and it might turn into a 30% ROI. But then there's other stuff that might evolve into an 80% ROI. And so over the broad stroke of everything that we're doing, we're making really good returns. And so, I think we have a fantastic lead list. I think we have a fantastic group. Personally, I think that this is probably one of the best investments that somebody can make into their Amazon career. And I don't say that lightly. I'm not just trying to pitch people. Like the thing is if you can, one, we have the community, and there's tons of value being shared. I mean, we're talking about ungating and major brands. It's a major topic of Black Chat right now. So if you're a new seller and you're struggling with brand gates, you're struggling with category gates. I mean, we have people in this group, several of them, probably maybe even a dozen or 24 sellers that are very, very proficient in ungating. And that's a very big conversation that's happening right now. I think it's of huge value. Right. But then just in, and that's one facet, right? We're sharing, prep center leads where, there's all kinds of different things that are getting shared and discussed. We're talking about IP complaints and how to handle those, how to get those removed from your account, how to contact the brand owner and have them retract those complaints. These are all things that every seller needs to know. And it's kind of like, I feel like what we've done is we're taking all of the best that's happening inside the community and all of the various hundreds of Amazon Facebook groups, and we have brought the best people, including Chris and myself and Gabe and Ralph and so many other fantastic sellers. I mean, it's there's 100 of us, right? There's 105 people 6 people who signed up, and there's probably about 70 of them, 80 of them that are inside Black Chat and inside the Cheddar Black. We've taken all of the best quality people, and I think the best quality content and discussion, and brought it into one very focused group. And I believe that this is one of the best investments that an Amazon seller can make, whether this is your first year, whether you opened up your account 3 months ago, or you've been doing this for 3-4 years. I don't see there being a better opportunity, because again, it took me 5 years personally, right? And I know, Chris, you've been around for many years. It takes years to learn how to put together 5 lists like this, right? We're not talking about, hey, here's a Black Friday list. No, we're delivering Cyber Monday as well. We're going to be delivering Cyber Monday leads from Black Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the next week. And we're just going to be dumping it on as much as we can. We got a team that's ready to just work overtime during that entire week's time, right? And so it's not just a Black Friday list or a Cyber Monday list. It's not just an RA list. Who out there is selling an Amazon out of stock during Q4 list? I don't even know if that exists anywhere else, but I can promise you.
I've seen one.
Yeah, and you showed some screenshots in an email yesterday and in a post in the group, right? I can show you where I've made thousands of dollars with just Amazon out of stock flips. You guys, that's just a little facet of my business, right? A little facet of what we do. And it's been, in fact, the Amazon out of stock list, and this is why I speak to those that are the kind of the bigger sellers, right? If you've been around 3, 4, 5 years, you might even be doing a couple million, right? The Amazon out of stock list is gold for you, right? I can assure you, because you know how to risk your money, right? You know how to read Keepa, and you probably have a higher risk tolerance if you're selling at that level. And these are leads that you can turn at 200% ROI on, right? That's just 150, 200% ROI. Not all of them, but I can promise you, out of the 55, 60 leads I think I've got in there, but by the way, that's only a portion of what I still need to review. We got way more coming down the pipeline, right? But out of those 50, if you pulled out the top 5 to 10, you're going to make enough money to pay for this program, and well more, and significantly more, right? The video game strategy, if you can't make $1,000, like, you're just not trying, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, that's just the fact. If you can't make $1,000 selling video games during Black Friday, you're not working hard enough. You're not trying hard enough. So again, we're making this as easy as possible. We're priming the pump for your business. That's essentially what this is, right? We're also, don't just consider how this is going to affect Black Friday and Q4 in 2019. Dude, everything that you're going to learn, the relationships that you're going to harness from this group. Like, somebody reached out to me the other day and said, who in the group can I contact about, I think it was like an ungating question. I said, I know exactly who to go talk to. Go read, because I'm watching the chat, right? I'm reading every single sentence. I said, go to this guy. He knows what he's doing. He's going to be able to help you. That's a relationship, right? That's something that one relationship is probably going to be worth more than several $1,000s. Getting ungated in Mattel is worth more than $1,000. Getting ungated in Hasbro is worth more than $1,000, right? I mean, it's just the value. I mean, and here's the thing: no one can come into this program and get and capitalize on every aspect of what's going on inside of Cheddar Black, because it's enormous, right? I mean, I'm learning. Like, I'm literally reading through the Black sheet. I'm like, oh, sending a picture to my shipper. Hey, what if we do this, right? He's like, well, that might work. That might make us about 10% more efficient in our shipping processes. Dude, that's stuff. I'm a 5-year vet, right? And I'm learning from this program, right? It's fantastic, you guys. I can't speak highly enough of the people that we have inside of the group. I think that's really what makes Cheddar Black so valuable. Is, yes, the leads are great. The leads kind of bring everybody into the program, but what makes the program so beautiful is everybody that's inside, right? That's where the real value is. And if one relationship can change your business, one relationship, and there's over 70, 80 people that are just as excited about selling on Amazon as you are. So if this is speaking to you, I really want to encourage you to jump in and join the group, right? Join the team.
Yeah, I think you said, I'm not sure there's much more that can be said. I mean, that was some passion.
Chris, we believe in what we do. Grant's got a huge heart. You know, we're not like, sellers first. We build this stuff as a secondary thing. It'd be really easy, Grant. The more we share about this, it's almost just as easy for us to keep these leads private and just capitalize on it. I almost feel like it's less work. And we're both big fans of this thing called stealth wealth, Chris. So like, we don't, we like kind of living quiet, private lives and just letting the businesses run online. It's one of the reasons we like running online businesses. This is kind of the one time a year that we come out and, share publicly. And so I almost want to say why you shouldn't join Cheddar Black. Like, if you're not in it closes aside at midnight. I don't know why somebody who's serious about Q4 wouldn't be in it, but jump in. You got like a couple more hours this afternoon. If you're catching this live with Chris, you can thank Chris later when you see him on the Keepa webinar. Thank him for putting this together and getting you guys in the tool. And I think you guys shared the link. So, G, I gotta jump off here in a couple minutes though, man.
We'll call this. I gotta go pick up my son from school.
We gotta keep this train moving. You know what I'm saying? Let's do some closing thoughts, huh?
Sure.
We don't sit here and talk about, Cheddar Black all day.
Sure.
Yeah. What are you guys thinking?
You guys watching live, you guys realize how unscripted this is today. This is like, we're like, hey, let's jump out. Let's share some value. I'll ask you guys this. Hey, how about this in closing? Well, I'll do this. I'll throw you guys each a softball. I'll start with Grant Dunn. Grant, what's been one of your keys to success in Q4? So I'm just going to go like broad across the thing. Like, you've got 3 companies you're running. You have, your brother does all your sourcing. What's been one of the keys to your success? This is your 5th or 6th Q4 now. Mm-hmm. So what's helped you guys to get here? Maybe something you don't talk about too often.
Oh boy, that's a tough one. I think I think honestly, I think it's like kind of what we were talking about. I'm going on an inventory level because there's a lot of directions I could take that. I think it's just seeing the unseen, right? It's looking at a product, scanning a product in store, whether it's me or Taylor. It's not really me anymore. But scanning something in the store during Q4, knowing what's about to happen, knowing the type of demand that's coming down the pipeline that's going to happen during peak season, looking at a lead, and most Amazon sellers are going to look, and this is the kind of training and stuff we're going to be delivering inside Cheddar Black here over the next few weeks. But looking at a lead that most sellers would put back on the shelf because it's not profitable enough, or it doesn't sell enough, or there's not a high enough ROI, something like that. But what we do is we tend to we would normally do the same during the greater part of the year, right? We would look at something that's not profitable and maybe just stick it back on the shelf. But when we know that it's what's happening with peak season, we're going to go look at the Keepa graph. We're going to go look at what happened at previous seasons. We're going to go look at the current trend. Where is the offer count? Is the offer count on its way down? Is the offer count lower than it's ever been in history before? Right? Is the offer count higher than it's ever been before? Right? Even if we see something that's extremely profitable, right? But we look at it and go, okay, well, what's happening right now? Is the market getting overflooded? So I think it's really just knowing how to use Keepa, and I've said this before, seeing the unseen, seeing the stuff that other sellers, average sellers, new sellers are just not going to understand, and they're going to ignore, and they're going to think that, arbitrage doesn't work or something. And we fill our store up. And the thing is, we do that. Like, again, I'm talking about sourcing stuff that makes a pretty low ROI, like right now, or even throughout November and the first 2-3 weeks of November, very, low ROIs, but we also cast a very wide net, right? We're not going too deep on anything. And based on the law of averages, we end up doing really, really well. And I think the other thing, and this is something I can say, this is something we're going to do better in this season in 2019 than we have in the past. I think that, and so this is something I'm correcting. In the past, I think I've put too much emphasis on Q4 inventory a little bit, and I got away from my bread and butter. I got away from the clothing and the shoes and just the stuff that works for me, month after month after month, all year long. And I've had that kind of hurt me actually a little bit, coming into January, not really being prepared with all those clothings and again, my bread and butter that's always done really well for me. So I think it's important to, focus on what is already working for you in your business right now. Continue to do that, maybe even do more of that, right? Because depending on your budget and stuff, if you add more budget to your current system, you might be able to just do more of what's already working and have a fantastic Q4. You don't have to buy Q4 inventory. You don't have to buy Black Friday inventory, right? It's all good. And play the game, right? Get good at all these different strategies, and I say get good. You don't have to be an expert in Black Friday. You don't have to be an expert in retail arbitrage, but have fun and play with all of these different strategies. And again, we make it easy and we make it efficient by giving you the leads so you can just go do the buying. You don't have to do the research, right? We don't want you spending, 20 hours, 10 hours on a Saturday like Taylor's doing for us, scanning, hundreds and hundreds of items. So again, I'll just recap, stick with what's working really well for yourself, do more of that, and then sprinkle on this Cheddar Black stuff as just kind of the gravy on top.
That's good advice. Do what already worked and sprinkle a little Cheddar Black on top. It's savory and delicious. So Chris Grant, I'll ask you the same question. This is off the cuff too, so feel free to answer this. You've been successful over the years. You've created momentum in your business. So what would you say, and this can be related to Amazon, any other business you run, but what do you think has been one of the keys to your success?
One is being open and honest. So like, for example, let's talk sourcing a little bit. When I'm outsourcing, and I'll have to kind of piggyback on what Grant said, while we do sell more toys and games in Q4, it is not our focus at all. Health, beauty, personal care is mostly our focus throughout the year. And we stick to that. And you see an uptick, okay, because people continue to buy those for themselves, but they then also buy them as gifts. And so that rising tide of Q4 kind of lifts all boats. But then the other thing is we're open and honest, and it ends up creating opportunities. It's a lot easier to do with RA because you're out in front of people, and you can shake hands and kiss babies, if you will. and bring coffee and donuts and all that stuff to stores. But don't ever say, oh, well, this is all for charity, or this is, I got a huge family. Just be open and honest, and you'll be surprised a lot more doors open than get closed in your face. And then one other sourcing tip I would give that I do that a lot of other people don't is they'll go to a shopping area where maybe there's a Walmart and a Target and a TJ Maxx and a Ross, within half a mile of each other. If I'm sourcing on Tuesday and Tuesday is my TJ Maxx day, I'm skipping over Target and Ross and Walgreens that are all right there, and I just continue on to the next TJ Maxx. So, and it sounds stupid to a lot of people, like, well, you missed all of this. The thing is, I've got blinders on. I start knowing what's at TJ Maxx in my area, and then I'm going to all these different stores, and I'm either picking up more of the same thing, or I'm realizing what is out there, kind of what the patterns and rhythms are to each place, and I end up spending more money when I do that. So those things have really been what have helped us a lot.
It's good stuff, man. This is unpredictable value. So similar concept. You're saying stay in your lane, like what you're good at, and you stay in your lane. Grant, you've been talking about that all year, and I think my friendly advice in like 30 seconds or less, I'd say the same thing, is just know what you're good at. So this is a great little tool. This can be, in my opinion, this is the best 20 or 30 bucks you can invest in yourself, is knowing what your strengths are. Know what you're good at and just do that stuff. And then the things that you're not good at, get people on your team around you that can fill that stuff in. But it's the similar thing. We're all saying it differently, is to stay in your lane, know what you're good at, and just do that, And when you have success doing that one year, do it again next year. And I think that lesson is one of the, for me in our journey of scaling, has been one of the hardest lessons. A lot of times as entrepreneurs, we want to reinvent. It's like, oh, I had success. Oh, great. Let's try something different. It's like, no, let's just do that again. And I think it applies to Amazon. Same thing too. You find good products, just stay in that. Grant, you were just talking about this on the live the other day in Cheddar Black you guys stay in your circle, and you could go out. You don't even leave Washington for a lot of your local stuff. But anyways, Chris, I appreciate you having us on for this impromptu Cheddar Black closing celebration party.
Absolutely.
I see
Thanks
Gary
for being
Springs
here,
in the house. So what's up, Gary Spring? He says it's all about the people. So if you guys want to know about Cheddar Black, ask Gary. He'll give you an unadulterated opinion. Do you want to say what's up to Maui TV? I see Mervat was asking, I do mostly OA. How much percentage of OA does this group do? So I would say, Grant, is it safe to say that Cheddar Black, it's both RA, OA. You can really use the leads for both. So it's tough to say if it's...
It is, but I would say it's actually more OA, because a lot of Black Friday can be done on the computer, right? Yeah. So really it's Black Friday and the RA stuff that's, going to be in the brick and mortar stores. Everything else that we're doing can be done on the computer, right? Like Christmas chunks is on the computer. Amazon out of stock is at the computer. Black Friday is at the PC. You can do the video game strategy at the PC, buying from Walmart and Best Buy, just get some quick, get quick shipping and stuff like that. A little bit more risky than going out on Thursday night in the store, right? Because then you can have it in hand and listed. But if you buy the right games, you can do the video game strategy online as well. So yeah, a lot of, and all the pre Black Friday sales, that's all on the computer, right? So I'd say about 70% OA, 30% RA.
There you go, folks. We'll get you some cheddar. So there's a link in YouTube if you guys are watching this. I think some may be on Facebook, some on YouTube. So click on the link in YouTube, and then I'm sure Chris will put a link in the description or something after the video. It'll be around this video on YouTube. And get in. It does close at midnight. This is not some like if you go back to the page, that we actually set the automation on the page to automatically flip to the close page, and then you'll see a waiting sign for 2020. So don't regret missing out on the season, and please don't go to that page and be like, I wonder if these guys were serious at like 1 o'clock this morning. So it's midnight Eastern. It's 11 Central. What is that? 9 Pacific.
9 Pacific. Yep.
So, and then it's done for the season. Like that's all the cheddar we have for the season. So cheddar will be sold out, closed out. We don't have any plans for any more lists this year. So that will be it. Finito. for 2019. We're wrapping up 2019. We want to bless you guys so you guys can have the best Christmas ever. And our goal is to give you some extra Christmas cash. So turn that cheddar into some extra Christmas cash and be the hero at Christmas, right? Who doesn't want to be the hero at Christmas? So, but Chris, I appreciate you having us on, man. Always a pleasure to come out and spend some time with you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you guys for taking some time, and enjoy the weekend.
You too, guys.
Ditto. Pat the reseller. Peace out, y'all. Reselling freaks. I like Pat's style.
Right.
Pat keeps it real. Cool, man.
All right. Have a great one. Links down below in the description, everybody. Bye-bye.